Will it interfere with any parking at all?
We need to discuss, so we haven't got that far yet, but yeah, coordination of what's gonna be required, especially when our parking and everything
Yeah.
else, as you know, I'm affected by that as well.
Right.
We'll need to figure all that out, but until we have somebody ready to sign up and everything else, we can't talk mobilization and coordination.
When they paint the lines, could they look into pickleball as well? It's a huge, industry now, especially with seniors. I play tennis twice a week over at Holiday Park, so I'm a regular tennis player. And pickleball in the evenings is a huge draw as well. So when they paint the lines, I don't know if it's something that they can paint another line, cause the pickleball court is a smaller.
Yeah, we can look into it and get a price. I don't know how that works, since we're probably setting a budget for this thing right now, right?
It doesn't
Well, how much,
change the
how
court,
much
it's
is it about? I don't know what that is, I'm sorry.
It's a matter of paint.
It's just,
It's paint.
Oh.
it's additional lines, but
Yeah, but if it's used in the evening, we're talking lighting as well.
Well, it's late till 8 o'clock tonight, I mean,
I don't know, just saying.
Why, do people play tennis at night? I don't know.
I don't know about pickleball either, she said they play
Oh.
in the evening. That's
Oh.
what
We're not adding, you're talking about they're using an hour a day, and now you wanna add lighting?
For pickleball, for
I mean,
pickleball.
which one is it?
I've heard other people ask about pickleball ones.
Yeah.
We can definitely,
Good addition.
we can definitely look into it, and I think, right now, we have a quote of 27,500, I think what we're talking about doing is approving a budget of 32,000 a day.
Well, there was 4,000 extra for,
No, for the 4,000 extra is the 27,500, that's all included.
oh, it's all included,
that's
I'm
all.
sorry.
But, I mean, the good news is, right, nobody's doing a special assessment. Riverbend has the funds to pay, River
Okay.
Terrace has the funds to pay,
Oh,
River Shores has
right.
the funds to pay. So, I don't know if we need to set a higher budget now, or
Well,
we
no.
just say we're gonna do it.
Let me ask you something, cause it passed my ears, you were also wanted to do the, what's that court? The
Shuffleboard?
Thank you.
Shuffleboard.
Did you say it to me, or did Peg, I don't know, do you?
Somehow it came out,
Did you wanna do that as well? Cause it's kinda the same thing.
Why
I
is
mean-
it
it's
needed?
even less. I mean, I've never seen it used, the shuffleboard.
Oh, they
Yeah.
use it, no, the Canadians use it.
Yeah, well, same guy could do it.
Right,
So-
I
so-
figured it was all kinda
So if we could get a proposal on that, and maybe,
included in this, and then
Included in
any
this.
excess funds, we can, I don't know, the deck or whatever. It's up to you, whatever you wanna do.
well, we'll have them price it, let's handle the tennis court now, we'll have them price out the shuffleboard.
Okay,
And then we can decide if that's something addition we want to do in here.
And it's needed at this point.
well, it looked kinda like it was fading, 'cause
Oh,
the sun hits it every day, you know, it's,
It might just be painting.
right, it's a sun, yeah, I said
Yeah,
it's a sun thing.
That shouldn't be nearly as complicated as the tennis court.
No,
So-
Is
but,
that something Steve could do?
no,
No,
it
gotta research.
requires lines and whatever. So that's why I made it an even I didn't see that the 4 was included, so we could go 27.5, I don't know, it's probably $1,000 to do that. Do you wanna do 28.5, or whatever you wanna do?
Why don't we approve a budget of 30 right now,
Okay,
and then I think we feel safe there, it gives us $2,500 above and beyond for pickleball lines if we wanted, and then we can get a proposal on the,
okay.
whatever you call that. There you go.
And there's no sales tax, there should not be,
No,
'cause it's construction, and, you'll have whatever other things we discussed, like it's gonna be in Middle River Club and all
yeah.
that stuff.
And I should bring up too, the one thing he did agree to was that we split it in thirds. The third would be
Oh, right.
the initial payment up front,
Okay,
1/3 when the asphalt is complete, and then 1/3 when it's finished,
okay,
which that works.
good.
Just one more point about the tennis court. I don't think it should be allowed to be used as a dog run. The dogs go to the bathroom in there, the owner, especially P, the owner can't clean that up. And it's eventually gonna wear the material down. And they poop, you can't always get it all up, and it's gonna be slippery. I think there's plenty of other places to take the dogs.
Post a sign right on the gate that
Yeah.
that's not allowed.
May I say something about that?
Yeah.
I never take my 8-pound puppy in there until she's done her business first. That's number one. Number two, I'm there 10 minutes in the evening. And if anything by accident happened, I can assure you I am prepared to take care of it. If we can't administer the dogs walking on the on the boardwalk, I don't see why I can't bring my dog there.
Because not everyone would maybe do the same as you, maybe, you
Right,
know, one
not everybody
dog
is
is allowed.
responsible.
Have you ever looked at the boardwalk? Has any dog
Yes.
done their business on the boardwalk?
No, but I see them walking there.
Yes,
in the
that's
morning.
exactly right. Why should we be allowed there and not in the tennis
They're not
court?
supposed to be allowed there.
They're not supposed to,
Right.
but they're allowed now. Nobody's policing them. So, this is really mean-spirited as far as I'm concerned.
So I think
For
it's a
10
shame.
minutes a night.
It's a shame, but you're just one person.
No,
Isn't,
there's
isn't
another
that
person.
getting, you don't have to keep your hand up.
Service dog.
It's okay.
Next, please.
You're next. Go ahead, then, if you're next.
I just wanna add that I think it's really, in talking about mean spirit, tennis courts are treated with some kind of metallic that prevents the tennis players from sliding. It eats right through their pads. And I think that for you ladies who wanna use that, should spend 5 minutes and Google up dogs in tennis courts. And it's really gonna be quite a danger. So I think in terms of caring for your animals, I would look at,
Is that on there now?
it's online, yeah.
No, is it on the tennis court now?
It's gonna be,
No,
it's gonna be in a couple months though.
If people care to
Whatever you're
oh,
talking about.
it's probably worn down quite a bit.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you're saying is, if there's new surface, I
Correct.
should be concerned about her.
Yeah, definitely,
Okay.
definitely. And I can drop by, I can print it out.
That would be great if
And
you could
and
do
just
that
drop
for
it
me.
by
I would
for you.
appreciate
Sure.
it. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
It's really, I mean, there's a bunch of really sad stories online about
Okay.
hurt dogs.
Lisa?
Yeah. Thank you. I understand about the dogs, but when I moved here, there were no pets, okay? And that's one of the reasons I moved here. When I walk out my door and I walk across the front sidewalk to go to my car, so many times, all you smell is dog droppings. It's disgusting, because no one goes to the dog area, unless,
That's not
I mean,
true.
they may go there and I don't see them.
That's right.
But a
you
lot
don't.
of people that let their dogs just run wherever they want, and half of them don't clean it up. I've seen a lady with paper towels just scrubbing it into the grass. That's not a responsible pet owner. Now, this lady sounds very responsible, and I'm glad you are, but not everyone is like you
I
here.
agree, but that's not my concern. That's a concern that we all have to take care of.
Exactly.
How to
And
police
it's
that
not
is the
police,
problem. How do you
right?
police that?
Well,
It's
slippery
very
slope.
Guys, it's an important issue,
Yeah.
but we're kinda getting away from the tennis court a little
Okay.
bit, so kinda wanna rein it in and come back to our agenda items, and then we're gonna have the open discussion at the end. And we discuss dogs or whatever else we wanna discuss. So, do we have anything else on the tennis court that we wanna discuss?
I can't think of anything. You'll fix whatever, the third, and
Yeah,
however you need to do that.
And send it out to everybody for approval before we sign anything.
And when you're ready, I'll just get the checks ready, and then you can hand them out when they're
That works?
done,
That works.
and as you see fit.
Okay.
Peg, you're making a motion, I gotta pay attention. Okay, I'm here. Peg.
I make a motion, we approve $30,000.
30K.
30.
Yes, because
30,000.
I misread it. I saw 4 and I added, it's not, and then we're gonna do the shuffleboard. And then there'll be other little,
We appoint AAA to do the job.
the AAA, yes. I'm just curious, when do you want, sorry, we're in the middle of a motion. Is there a second?
A second.
Bobby. Just a question, when do you want this to be due for the 3 associations?
As soon as possible. So,
Did you hear that, Steve?
As soon as
Do you have the
possible,
money?
They wanna
Yeah,
know how available.
we have reserve funds that we can recollect, as long as I get a final amount.
Well, it's 30,000 times 21%.
Right, but are there any add-ons to that?
No, that will be it.
The total is 30,000.
Yeah.
So I can assess 21% of the 30,000 divided by 49 years.
However you do that over there, I just didn't, the question was if it was an issue for you. It's not an issue for us, and it's not an issue for River Bend, correct?
That's correct.
Okay,
We have monies.
okay, that's it. So it will be due immediately, so I'll get it out early next week, and then I'll get the check, because the money's already in the account to get going.
Well, just one more quick thing, if it becomes, I don't know, I probably really can't speak to this, but if parking becomes an issue for a couple of days, they can certainly use our guest spots.
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
We always do.
Okay.
So there's a motion and a second for AAA tennis and the assessment will be for 30,000. It will be due immediately or when I get it out in the next few days, and everybody can take care of their business. It's a board vote, Wally. Yes, Wally? Yes.
I'm in favor.
Peg?
Yes.
Bobby?
Yes.
Janet? Yes, yes. So, good.
Yes and yes.
Yeah, may I ask one favor?
Sure.
From the board and from our members out in the office? If you could, it's sort of difficult here, and I've been able to get at least 80% of the conversation. If you could just announce who you are, I can't physically see who's there, and that would be fine. I'd appreciate it.
Oh, who's talking in the audience?
Right, exactly.
Oh, okay. We all need to speak up a bit.
Yeah, and if you could identify yourself.
And
Yes.
I just want to make a quick comment about Steve.
It's more important for the identification. I'm putting checks by all the people that I really like.
Oh, well, how do you know you like all of them, Wally? Anyway,
Absolutely.
good, that's good. I appreciate what you said, but I also appreciate what you said, so it can't be both. Instead of saying no, which I don't agree with, I think the information should be available. And this way, there's no possibility of you're violating something, and long as information is there, let somebody make a decision. Do you follow what I'm saying?
About what?
About the dogs on the tennis court. Because again, it's when you say no, that presents itself to be an issue. If you present the and it's not taking a side one way or the other. If you put that information out, it's not good for the dog, then it's not saying no, it's giving somebody an intelligent
Sure,
choice.
I can laminate that and post that on the gate
Yeah.
to the tennis court.
This way,
And
but do you understand why I'm saying that, Bobby?
Yeah, no, I do.
Okay,
So,
that's what I need you to,
That works
yeah.
great.
This way, it's not no, it's, if you choose to do that, you
Yes.
understand there's a consequence.
Yes. I
Then you're not
understand
being
that
told
fully.
no.
I understand that fully.
That covers,
I just-
that covers everybody.
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
I understand, okay.
That the association won't be liable for hurt dogs, correct?
There you go. You see how that works? It works for both
I
sides.
understood it before that.
Okay, good.
This is Mike from River Terrace. I just don't think, with all the property that we have, I don't think that they should be able to let the dogs run loose in the tennis court. It's a tennis court, it's not a dog run. That's just my thought.
Fine.
Not an issue.
Well, I think the idea is because it's fenced in and they can.
Well,
run
yeah,
around.
and I could see that point. The dog run around, it gets them some exercise. There's, so the two of you plus anybody else want to make a decision, then you know there's a consequence,
So I
whatever
can
that
use
looks.
that fenced-in area for anything I want to choose to
Yeah,
do in the
that's parties
evening.
in there.
Well, it's not quite that.
I can take my walk around the fenced area.
Sure,
you'd like.
yeah,
Why not?
what are we gonna do about it? It's like Lisa brought up the dogs. Let me just take a minute about that. We've sent River Shores notices. How many, Peg? This many? Not in front of the apartments, where the areas are. Most comply, some don't. So, it is what it is.
And you can't control.
No.
You can't control. Okay, we're ready to move on. The next issue, the reimbursements from Middle River Club to River Shores, the monthly office use, rent, office supplies, computer, etc., Basil. It's been looked at for this last quarter. There's been itemized bills, but not everything's been on there. And then it was like in such detail, a quarter for this, 10 cents for that. It's quite time consuming. But I guess that's how professional management companies do it. So, we kinda spoke off the cuff, and this is what we've come up with, a reimbursement back to River Shores of, what is it?
2819?
Well,
Okay.
we need to tackle some of these individually.
Okay,
So, in fact, I don't know if you just wanna go down the list.
Okay.
How you have them listed. The office rent, $400 a month.
mhm,
I don't even wanna get into the 400, how we even got to 400 a month.
okay,
But right now, Riverbend has their office. I obviously conduct a lot of business on behalf of Middle River Club using my computer, my supplies, my office,
mhm,
my house, whatever that is. Wally's doing the same thing for River Terrace. You're doing the same thing, River Shores out of that office.
And home.
Seems and home. So it seems to me that we all have our offices to conduct our normal, regular board meeting stuff.
okay.
So why are we reimbursing River Shores for an office expense here? at
Oh,
Middle River
okay,
Club
that's a good question.
At $4,800 a year?
Well, it's kinda cheap when you consider, there's office furniture, there's electric, there's space, there's storage, there's all that stuff.
Okay.
So, the
But
thing
why
is.
River Shores? Cause I'm conducting a good chunk of Middle River Club's business out of that condo
Okay.
up there.
Well, I also do it home, but that's the legal address of Middle River Club.
Okay.
Let me ask you something, would you be willing to do all the Middle River Club business out of the office of River Bend for free?
Meaning.
Well, the
meaning
computer,
you're
the
having
furniture, the electric, the air conditioning and
But
all that?
see,
That's the
and this is where-
management. That's the management.
Okay, so you don't wanna pay it?
I don't think that
Okay.
Middle River Club should pay for an office expense, no.
Okay.
Not at all.
Thank you. Anything else on this? Wally, do you have any comment?
Yes and no, but I'll abstain for right now.
Okay. What else, Bobby?
Let's talk about office supplies. So I went back and looked at the last 3 months of expenses, right?
Right.
And basically took the printing costs,
Mm-hmm.
including what charging for a piece of paper and printing, scanning costs, envelopes, and stamps. And what I came up with was that we're averaging $18 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Now keep in mind that FedEx Kinko's down the street charges 17 cents to print a black and white copy.
Mm-hmm.
River Shores charges 25 cents.
Right, that's a
And-
statute that allows that.
And within that statute, the cost of computer, printer, maintenance, ink, paper, etc. is included in the 25 cents.
Okay,
So how did we get to $100 when it looks like we're spending $18 a month?
well, again, I think that included the phone and whatever. See, there's a full office available for Middle River Club business that's divided between the two entities. Now, whether it's 50% or 60-40, whatever, it's still available. So, for instance, if one of the residents, will use River Terrace, wants to call about Middle River Club business, they call the River Shores office phone. Well, there's a phone available. Now, does that phone cost a lot? No, not at all. But again, it's still unavailable. They have to use the elevator to come up to the office. The clicker, well, but again,
Well,
it's a, it's a business
have
expense.
money.
So
You
here's
wanna know this.
here's what it feels like to me, right?
Okay.
So we have $500 a month between office expense and $100 thing for the supplies and such.
Right.
So $500 a month, $6,000 a year, and it looks like our actual expenses, which are at 25 cents a page, higher than FedEx Kinko's, are $480 a year.
Okay.
So why is River Shores trying to collect $5,500 additional dollars on all this stuff when you don't have that expense?
Well, let me
you're not-
ask you, are you willing to use River Bend's office and equipment to do Middle River Club business?
Well, so we've already defined our roles as to what Middle River Club business is, and the truth
Right.
is, yes, I am already using River Bend space to conduct Middle River Club business. The only
Oh.
difference would be is if you want to change the mailing address
Okay.
to River Bend
Well, people would also be entitled to go up to that office.
and visit who?
Visit, well, when they need a clicker.
If they need.
Like
Well,
I
no,
just
no,
got a-
wait. Now the clicker, because this clicker thing is getting ridiculous. River Shores owns the gates, right? And has
We
still.
do?
Yeah, you own the gates.
Oh, okay. all right, that's.
You actually own the gates, you own the front, you own all the frontage along 16th Avenue.
Okay,
So, what was agreed way back when, my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, the gates were put in, River Shores wanted them in.
oh,
The
I don't know
other-
about
the-
River Shore, but go ahead, I
The-
was
the
there,
other
so,
board-
but
The other
you
boards
know,
agreed to a payment thing to reimburse River Shores for the gate expenses, right?
okay,
But in your memo that you gave me when I first got on this board, you even state
probably.
there is a shared gate system that is on a different percentage, but is controlled by Middle River Club.
Correct.
So, it's not controlled by Middle River Club, it's controlled by River Shores because you guys own it.
Well, Bobby, I guess if it's in the agreement that the Middle River Club Board decides issues with it, it may be on River Shore's property, if that's what you
But what
refer to.
agreement is it in that Middle River Club, I haven't seen any agreement, it's not in the condo docs, it's not in anything else.
Oh, so do you not wanna have clickers to get in here, cause it's ours, or what, I don't
No.
understand what you're asking.
No, but I'm trying to figure out how you're trying to put the clicker into Riverbend office and make it a Middle River Club responsibility.
Okay.
When it's controlled by, River Shores.
Oh,
And it's owned by you guys. If we want to change that, then
Okay.
we should look at having an agreement that spells out exactly what everything is.
okay,
But currently, the way it is.
there's no agreement.
There was an agreement a couple of years ago signed by all three associations.
Do we
Yeah,
have- do
I
we have a
know,
copy of
it's
exactly
not
what that
making
is?
sense what he's saying, of course not. It's been done that way for 20-plus years, I was there up in the office. It was a whole problem to get, they wanted the thing, the two buildings wanted it, but they just didn't wanna pay for it, so we did it by equal.
So,
That was a mistake, it should have been done all in Middle River Club. The fact is, you are 100% correct, 100, it is all on River Shore's property. However, since it's all used by all three associations, you do use the gate to get in here, correct?
well, you have to give me access to my condo.
You better believe it, I'm gonna give you, but you gotta pay sometimes, and there's an agreement in place
Oh, no,
that's.
you do pay. So
Oh,
so-
okay.
So let's talk, no, and we do pay by the percentage, and we
Okay.
reimburse
Right.
you by the percentages that were previously agreed to 2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the additional expenses, the clickers, what does it cost to program a clicker?
Not
What is-
much.
What is River Shores'
Time.
expense?
No, my time is free.
Time has to be
Again,
free.
Well, that's another thing that may be coming up. Anyway, they come up the elevator, they call, this morning, what's her name, from your building, she needs a clicker at 7 o'clock this morning. I'll think of Susan. So she called River Shore's office, I'll forward you the email, she needs a clicker. So that stuff is all available for the entire community to come. Any discussion, Middle River Club. So the fact that you're already using the Riverbend office for Middle River Club business, is there a computer in there, is there a phone? I don't know what's in there, I've never been in there.
No, not at this time.
Oh, well, again, all that is provided up in that office. You
Yeah.
have seats, you have furniture, you have all that for any business for Middle River Club, and it's a shared space.
And that office is locked quite a bit.
Okay,
But let's go back to the clickers, because that's something you've been charging $250 per program clicker. There's not a lot of expense, right? Because we don't get reimbursed, none of us, on any board that we sit on, for our time.
correct,
We only get reimbursed for actual expenses.
correct.
So why are we charging $250 per
Well,
reprogram when
first
we don't
of all,
have $250 in cost?
There's a computer and a telephone line and all that stuff. So, the thing is, I understand you want it all
So why don't we just
free.
buy a new computer when the thing goes out and
Uh-huh.
split it amongst our percentages, as opposed to
So
charging
you want
for-
where's that second computer gonna sit?
Well, no, what I'm saying is, okay, so you're using a River Shores computer and for Middle River Club business
Right.
as well.
Everything in that
then-
office
but then
is
Middle
jointly
River Club-
shared. The cabinets, I need a file, I need a manila, excuse me. You see, it's not every penny, and that's the problem. It's always been done that way. You brought up, you were concerned, where was all that money going? Well, when you start really breaking it out, we were not charging enough. Now, again, we can have a discussion, is it fair to charge you folks for, the use of, River Shores resources? That's, of course, could be a conversation. The thing is, it is
Well,
what it
I don't
is.
know why you're discussing it. If he doesn't wanna pay, He doesn't
May
pay,
I
that's
say
it.
something?
Yes,
From-
Wally.
From New England? Listen, I agree we all want transparency, and, we want monies outlined, you know. Small items, I don't think it has to be outlined in that much of a detail. Certain issues which may be questioned or negotiated between River Shores, River Bend, and River Terrace, maybe we can review some of those figures. And I'm torn because I agree to a certain degree, with, Tony in that, you know, the gates may be on River Shores property, but we all need access to the our condos. How we divide up the cost for that and what's being spent for clickers being activated, deactivated, whatever. We can discuss that as a board and maybe decide, you know, what's fair in terms of overall pricing. But I think that's something we should take a look at together as a board.
Wally,
And,
Wally, that's kind of what we're discussing now, and just so you know, I totally agree that the gates are important. However, there should be an agreement that discusses exactly what responsibilities of everybody.
Gee, I thought